As diplomacy continues, US President Joe Biden still insists the Russian invasion of Ukraine is imminent. Storm Eunice brings deaths, damage and disruption to parts of northern Europe. Despite the diplomacy still taking place, US President Joe Biden said on Friday he's still convinced President Vladimir Putin has decided to invade Ukraine.
Look, we have reason to believe the Russian forces are planning to and intend to attack Ukraine in the coming week, in the coming days. We believe that they will target Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, a city of 2.8 million innocent people. But I say again, Russia can still choose diplomacy. It is not too late to de-escalate and return to the negotiating table.
Others are still at that table. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken met UK Foreign Secretary Liz Truss and German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock in Munich on Friday. Blinken is attending the annual Munich Security Conference, where he aims to ensure the unity of Washington's European allies over Ukraine. But satellite imagery of Russian forces suggests Putin's mind is made up. Vast numbers of troops, field hospitals and air assets are still amassing on the border with Ukraine, including in Belarus and Crimea. US defense officials say an estimated 40 to 50% of ground units have moved into attack positions. Two key pro-Russian leaders in the region have announced a mass evacuation of citizens to Russia from eastern Ukraine and claim that people are fleeing. Western leaders see such moves as Moscow attempting to sow fear as an excuse for military intervention in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin said those arriving would receive a payment of 10,000 rubles, around 114 euros, not a lot to leave your home behind. And on Friday, pro-separatist leaders claimed a bomb in a car exploded near their administrative building in Donetsk. Though no casualties were reported, all a smokescreen cooked up by Moscow, according to Ukrainian security officials, who insist it's all simply Russian provocation.
Сьогодні дві людини зробили заяву відносно евакуації.
Today, two persons made statements regarding an evacuation of the citizens of Luhansk and Donetsk, as if the Ukrainian army planned to attack those regions to get back our territories. I can say that these statements have nothing to do with reality.
Наші території. Я можу вам заявити, що все це абсолютно не відповідає дійсності.
With so many Russian troops poised on its borders, Western defense analysts say any move by Kiev to attack the two Moscow-backed self-proclaimed republics would be simply madness. After knocking out power to tens of thousands of homes in the UK, Storm Eunice hit northern France on Friday, landing on the coast of the Normandy region. 5 French departments were subjected to an orange weather warning. Many rail services were being suspended and people were advised to stay at home as much as possible and to secure items that could be blown away. In neighbouring western Belgium, high winds toppled a crane in the city of Tournai, causing it to damage part of a hospital. Other than the crane operator, no one was hurt. Rail transport in Belgium was also impacted by the storm, with train services suspended in parts of Flanders. In the west of the region, there were no trains at all on Friday between 2 and 6 p.m. Despite warnings to steer clear and stay indoors, some people wandered out to the coastline near The Hague as Storm Eunice struck the Netherlands. The gale force winds also blew off part of the roof of the ADO Den Haag football stadium and sent roof debris flying. The Dutch emergency services said 2 people had also been killed by falling trees. And in Ireland, a local authority worker was also killed by a falling tree on Friday morning. It's thought the victim, who was in his 50s, was working with a colleague clearing other fallen trees when the accident happened.
Along France's Normandy coast, huge sections of chalk cliffs have collapsed, a result apparently of erosion accelerated by climate change.
The changes around here are huge. We moved from around 3 major cliff crash events per year to now a dozen of crashes, and we are just talking about this 30-kilometre part of the Normandy coastline. Global warming contributes a lot. We have high temperatures and a lot of rainfall. The abundant water infiltrates the cliffs from top down. This water intrusion triggers the breakdown of the chalk.
Village Mayor Raphaël Lessueur takes us downhill to the pebble beach of Tilleul. He has banned access to the danger zone and warns unaware tourists of the risks.
I think it's very dangerous to be down here. There is a sign at the right side. You cannot go there for the moment. It's an official decision that was taken. We will see the second breakdown, even bigger in size compared to the first one here. It is impressive. How do you explain this event? I think it's the heavy weather, the rain. But it's true, we should ask to what extent climate change is involved. It is a real concern, because if it's happening here, it can happen anywhere also to other cliffs in the region. Our coastline is going to change.
A bit further, at Criel-sur-Mer, the municipality has begun compulsory purchases of property to move locals out of the condemned area.
On est à 70 mètres d'hauteur ici. La marche est très haute.
We are 70 meters above ground level here. It's a very high cliff. Look over there. When the cliff retreated, half the road was destroyed. And it continues. This house you can see will get destroyed in the upcoming weeks.
30 centimeters of coastline is lost on average each year. Nearby Dieppe, the cliff edge retreated 30 meters in one sudden collapse, causing huge damage. Climate change impacts Europe's coastline. In Normandy, France, giant cliffs are crumbling more frequently, erosion speeds up and seawater levels are rising. Climate change gets serious.
Und der Meeresspiegel steigt. Es wird ernst mit dem Klimawandel.
The full 20 minutes report on Europe's accelerating coastal erosion is on air and online this week on Euronews and euronews.com.
In Canada, police moved in to arrest scores of demonstrators and tow away vehicles on Friday in the nation's capital, Ottawa, in an attempt to end a 3-week-long protest against the country's COVID-19 restrictions. Authorities said by evening at least 100 people had been arrested, mostly on minor charges, and nearly 24 vehicles had been towed away, including all of those blocking one of the city's major streets.
Even this morning, all unlawful protesters were given many opportunities to leave. Officers then turned to the intersection of Rideau and Sussex, making more arrests and clearing that location. As of 3 p.m. today, we've arrested 70 people. They have been charged with multiple various offences, including mischief.
The crackdown on the self-styled Freedom Convoy began in the morning when hundreds of police, some in riot gear and some carrying automatic weapons, descended on the protesters. Tow truck operators wearing neon green ski masks and with their company's identity decals taped over on their trucks arrived under police escort and started removing the big rigs blocking the roads.
With only a few days to go before the Winter Olympics draw to a close, sports fans from all over the world have been able to enjoy the spectacle in the comfort of their own homes and acquire a better understanding of athletes' performances thanks to the introduction of new technology in Beijing. To find out more about these innovations, we spoke to the CEO of Omega Timing, Alan Zobrist, who with the help of his timekeepers has been providing us with valuable data throughout the Games.
Omega is built on its motion sensors and positioning systems introduced in 2018 in Pyeongchang. Now we're using computer vision and artificial intelligence in order to analyze the entire performance of the athletes and as a consequence explain their result in much greater detail. We can tell where they gained or lost points or time.
Tell me how this could help fans understand these performances.
Typically in figure skating, our computer vision and artificial intelligence systems are analyzing the entire performance of the skaters. So we would be able to analyze in great detail their jumps, how high, how long, and how fast they jump, and as a consequence, really explain the differences of those amazing performances. These information are going to be shared as well to athletes and coaches so that they can eventually adapt their training accordingly. Only in the second step, we will be working very closely with judges in order to eventually also provide that information to them.
Alan Zobrist and his team of timekeepers have been working around the clock to provide precise numbers in all of the 15 disciplines on show in Beijing. The closing ceremony of the Games takes place on Sunday.